Alrighty, the plan is these springs, and these are 3-leaf, but they are heavy duty, which I don't really want. I'm looking for a softer ride, so I'm hoping that this is, and I coughed it up. I've been wanting one of these. I've got a 1/2-inch impact pneumatic in there, but this is this DCF 894. There's an 899, which is the top of the line in power, but this is smaller, and for the farm over here, this should be, I think, totally adequate for. But this is what's in here. I mean, I was just going to order 1 or 2. You can see that's probably like 8 or 9 gauge. I mean, look at the difference in that. I'm just taking the first cable off, showing the difference of these, which this is just number 2 welding cable, but the super flexible, but this is what I'm replacing. That looks a lot better. Those are definitely some beefy honking cables. See, this is like a 2001 cart with the built-in charger. If you can see back there, there's no bushings. I was just going to put the bushings in there, but these springs are totally flat, so my hardware is in pretty good shape. You know, just a squirt of WD-40. And I couldn't even use, well, I could use the impact on the outside there, and then this one, you know, was up in here like this, so I used a 3/4 and a 9/16 to get that out. And so now I just have this one more shackle, and then I'm going to put this in, but I couldn't film all that. But anyway, you know, it's on jack stands, and then put your jack up the back so you can adjust and let the tension off of these shackles and all right. And now looking at the difference of my old compressed spring with the new one on top, which it looks longer, but anyway, there's not much more of a bend to it, so we'll see here in a second if that brings me up any. But anyway, today this went a lot better. Jack the back up. I've got jack stands under there. I put this under here just in case something were to fall. But anyway, that is the trickiest one right there. This bolt here, you can see that. I've already got it in. I haven't put the nut on the other side. And the shackles, I've got this 1/2-inch, but that wouldn't fit in here to get the shackle, so I've got this with a 14mm, and those bolts just came straight out. And I took the brake cable loose just for simplicity, because if you can see on the other side, it goes right up underneath that spring. Alright, this, I just got this bolt back up in here. When you put these bushings in here, the ones that come with it, the bolt up there, you can't put the sleeve in there because it's a bigger bolt. So you just put the bushings in there, and then you get that one in there. And then this one, you just bring this back up, and then you have to get this bolt, which miraculously, that's right where it needs to be, it looks like. But you just have this on jack stands, and then you can move the back up to, you know, get whatever play you need in this. Just leave your axle on the jack stands and move the body up wherever it needs to be. And then that's a 9/16 or a 14mm. And then you got to put your shackles back on here. Put your washers back on there. See, these are all, this is off a 20-year-old cart, but this was used inside in the plant, so it's nothing's really rusty. Yesterday I was doing all this with a socket set and it took a lot longer. Actually, doing the other side yesterday, it did. All I'm trying to do is, it looked like the springs were completely sagged down to nothing, and so I was figuring without a lift that might lift it up about 1 inch. The next thing I might do is a block lift, because all I want to do is put some, maybe some 22-inch tires like I have on my buggy over here, because that would soften the ride up. These are great tires here. These Mud Busters 2211 by 8s. But these things are low pressure, and those are shocks in themselves, because this thing doesn't have suspension. But with about 10 pounds of pressure in those tires, it's a lot smoother ride than this is. Four-wheeler tires and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I got it on low. This has low and high, and it supposedly, when you spin the bolts off, it automatically slows down and it doesn't over torque. I just eBayed that for $150 with no battery, but this will be handy. Thinking yesterday I was at 19 1/4 in a rough measurement. This side for some reason was higher anyway, because that's 21 1/2. When the other side, when I did it, I was at 19 1/4 yesterday. I'm gonna probably modify this somewhat, but I just use it as a farm buggy, so for now that'll work. Alrighty, take her easy.